It's an honor having this time to talk to you to get to understand what the AEB, the Ambazonia Education Board, is all about.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's an honor for me to have you with us. The education communication officer and the Nationalist CEO. I am grateful. I want to seize this opportunity to thank you, to thank the Nationalists for the great work that you are doing to bring to light, to inform our people and the international community about, our plight, to let the world know what we are going through, the genocide that is happening in Ambazonia. And I'm so grateful to be here this evening with you. I greet your audience. I greet all your followers. I salute the Ambazonian people. I salute everyone in the diaspora, the Ambazonians in the diaspora, and all who are the nationalists pursuing this war of independence.
My first question actually is, this is 2025, and many Ambazonians still don't understand the objectives of the AEB, that is the Ambazonia Education Board. Can you briefly inform the public about what you do?
Many people do not know that we exist, and the great work that we are doing. We are doing a lot of great work. A lot of work has been going on. What do we do as Ambazonian Education Board? Yes, this is 2025. That's a very good question. And this is a year of actualization. We are actualizing our independence. And so the Education Board of Ambazonia is responsible for overseeing and coordinating educational activities in Ambazonia. Some of the key functions of the Ambazonian Education Board include the curriculum development. We have developed a curriculum that speaks to the present times. We have come up with a curriculum that is equal to none in the whole of Africa, and so we are proud of what the work that we have achieved so far. We deal with curriculum development, developing relevant curriculums, and creating educational programs that are relevant to the Amazonian context, culture, and our history, to project our context, to project our culture and our history, because our history has to be written by Ambazonians. Other people have no right to come and give us our history. And so that's the role of the education board. We do pedagogical reviews and update curricula to ensure they remain relevant and effective to the changing times. We equally, as an education board, we develop educational infrastructure, setting up buildings and establishment of Ambazonia community schools in various locations throughout Ambazonia. We equally ensure that schools facilities are well maintained, safe, and conducive for learning. It's quite an enormous task for the education department. We train teachers, teachers training and development, identifying, recruiting, and training qualified teachers to work in Ambazonian schools. We offer ongoing online and offline training and professional development opportunities for teachers to enhance their skills and knowledge. We do education assessment and evaluation, developing and creating assessment tools and elevating to measures that students, learners can progress with. Administering examinations and assessment to evaluate students learning and understanding. Partnership. We do partner with the community for the establishment of schools. We collaborate with local communities, organizations, and stakeholders to promote education and support educational initiatives,
Okay.
encouraging parental involvement and engagement and educational activities and decision making to the education department.
I
There's
just
quite a
wanted,
lot. There's quite a lot that we
I
do.
just
We
wanted to
do
say
advocacy and yeah, we do advocacy and policy development, and yeah, just to end, we promote and advocate for the educational rights of the Ambazonian child and communities, developing and implementing policies that support educational development and improvement of Ambazonia. That is
so.
the work we do.
Well, let me ask
That's
you
the
a quick
work.
question. How successful have you been based on the fact that the the field is not really conducive right now with Cameroon's militias and genocidal army moving and killing, like I heard from information gathering, the coordinator for Momo was killed. He's a teacher and he was not involved in the war. He was just involved in training kids who were not going to school because of the invasion by Cameroon's army. How conducive is the environment of studies, and how successful have you been?
That's a good question. Thank you so much for asking me that question. It has not been easy. We are at war. We just for information's sake, we started the board. The board started in 2019, and since 2019, we've been developing the community schools. Before 2023, uh, the community schools were functioning properly. We had about 29 schools counted and growing. And we were this year, last year, we were looking at getting into secondary schools. We had 29 schools in Momo, and we had about 25 in Bui. In these two states, we were present, and we were very effective and impacted knowledge to Ambazonian people and students. So the environment is not conducive. Education is a fundamental right, a fundamental human right enshrined in the United Nations Charter. And so when we said no school, we were expressing, our distress. And so when we looked at it and we figured out, and sorry for that technical hitch. There was a technical hitch there,
Okay.
and so are you back? Are you
Yeah.
on?
Yeah, I'm on. I was on.
Good,
Yeah.
good. And so what I was saying is that we have been very effective. We have been very effective until they got the a coordinator, a pedagogic coordinator in Momo. They got him arrested. He's still at large. We don't know his whereabouts. We have contacted the Red Cross, the International Red Cross Society, and the case is with them. They have not given us an answer as to whereabout this teacher that was kidnapped, was whisked from his location where he is. Whether he has been killed or we don't know. We are still investigating and still finding out. The Red Cross is still working on the file. And again, the Secretary General, the Education Secretary for Momo, was killed. He was murdered. He's a teacher. He's a teacher who has been teaching the children, going around and making sure that the schools, the 29 schools in Momo, are functional. He was killed by the rogue military, the rogue regime the baby killers of La République du Cameroun. They killed him, and so that in itself dampened the progress that we were making. But that notwithstanding, we are still very, very, very okay. We are still very strong. The schools are running. We are picking up, and we are still doing what we are able to do. Everything is moving well. 25 schools, and more schools have added because there is an expansion to Jakiri, to include Jakiri, to include Oku, Noni, and all the other areas. We are expanding in Donga. We are present in Donga. Looking forward to having a coordinator there, and so we are moving. And in Boyo, we are working out something there, finalizing to have a coordinator to coordinate Boyo. So we have been very effective. We've been very effective.
Based on your answer, we have an incident that happened 2 days ago in Bini, where you saw Cameroon. The army just came and massacred 6 individuals, armless civilians who were just having a beer or two. They were innocent. They were not Ambazonia fighters. So my question is coming based on the Ambazonia Military Academy. Because from what you've told me, the expansion of the schools are really growing and impressive. The Ambazonia Military Academy, as I understand, based on my research, will be like the People's Army to defend communities throughout Ambazonia. My question here is, I know it's a vision from the Ambazonia Education Board. Can you tell us what is the Ambazonia Military Academy and what is its main purpose, and how far have you guys gone in setting up this structure as the educational department?
You see, impartation of knowledge is the role of the education department, and so we develop curriculum, and we develop subject matter. We write out the subject matter. We create institutions. The academy is an institution of learning for people to acquire knowledge and be good at what they do, be professionals. The Ambazonian Military Academy is aimed at training and development of the military personnel for the Ambazonian Defense Forces. Thus, it aims to produce well-trained, disciplined, loyal military personnel who can effectively defend Ambazonia and promote peace, stability, development in Ambazonia, completely eliminating miscreants within the ranks, like kidnappers for ransom and military excesses and abuses and behaviors that we have witnessed in the course of our revolution. We are just completing, because the ADF, it was a trained force. They prepared them long before 2016. They prepared them from 2013, 2014, 15. Before in 2016, the plans that the AGovC had were still in gestation, but the lawyers and the teachers strike, and the intransigence of La République du Cameroun to come to terms with reforms and all of that made us to defense forces were being trained. They were receiving training, and so the aims and objectives of the military academy AMA is to provide comprehensive military training, including combat tactics, strategies, and logistics, developing leadership skills, emphasizing discipline, responsibility, decision making, fostering a sense of participatory patriotism and loyalty amongst cadet promotions, dedications to the Ambazonian cause. And so those are the objectives of the military academy.
Good. I have this one
goals.
question I would like to ask you. There's one question I would like to ask you. Yeah. What do you believe? Do you think this is the right time of creating the Ambazonia Military Academy?
This is the right time because we are already in the process of taking over. We are taking over the institutions of our land. We cannot wait until we have completely chased La République out of Cameroon before we start creating institutions. That's why you have the education board, and that's why we are coming on with the military academy, so that we begin to prepare our military, for homeland defense, to protect the integrity of the nation as soon as we chase La République out of our land, either through whatever means. They have to leave our land. And as soon as they leave our land, because if they were to say Ambazonia is free tomorrow, we will already have a military academy. And so it's timely because the goals, I would say, is to train military personnel to defend Ambazonia's sovereignty and traditional integrity, develop military personnel who can protect Ambazonian civilians and promote human rights. You see, we need to have a responsible military, and it's only in an academy that we can impart this responsibility to promote human rights and foster culture of discipline, order, professionalism within the Ambazonian Defense Forces. It's only in an academy where you can impart this kind of knowledge and make the military responsible. And I think that this is the right time. This is the right time for us to have a military academy. And so we are right on it. We are working on it, getting the necessary together, getting the teachers that will be teaching these students. Part of the schooling, given the difficulties that we still have, will be online. And we have an online platform with our partners from India. And so all the officials of the Ambazonian Defense Forces will receive training. They will be responsible. And so we are quite ready, and very soon we are on it. And just to conclude, we have a curriculum already developed. We have developed a curriculum to study military history, theory, science, and tactics, engage in physical training, combat drills, and tactical exercises, learn leadership principles, communication skills, problem-solving strategies, study Ambazonian history, culture, heritage, and values, and the geography of Cameroon. They have to know the geography. They have to know the terrain of that they are defending, know where they have to put more emphasis to protect our land. And so it's timely for the military academy to see the day of light.
I followed up President Paul Biya's end of year speech, in which he called Ambazonian leadership purported enlightened beings. And it was really interesting. But the vice president of the Ambazonia Governing Council, Dr. Julius Nye, responded not by challenging Paul Biya's idea of Ambazonia. As Paul Biya said, we're doomed to fail. But Dr. Nye came in his own speech and directed his defense chief and the ADF to recruit 1,000 fighters. I want to know, is his recruitment of 1,000 fighters and training them involved or connected with the Ambazonia Military Academy?
Thank you for that question. We are building a nation, and we think that the recruitment of forces has to go hand in hand with our budget. And so we will recruit according to the budget that we have and according to the tasks that we have. We at the moment we are still doing guerrilla warfare, and so as the need arises, we will be recruiting people according to the skills and vocations that will be developed within the military academy, like the engineers, civil engineers. We have to train civil engineers. It cannot be now. So it will depend on the circumstances that we have at hand. And so before our leader, Dr. Choluka Sayaba, was taken in for questioning, this was in gestation. We had launched the recruitment. So it's not something that we are responding to any proposal made by some Cameroonian leader. It is something that we had already in the pipeline that we are just actualizing. So the vice president was just actualizing what had already been in the pipeline. We had earmarked to increase the capacity of the Amazonian Defense Forces so as to meet up with the takeover strategy that we have in place.
What you're trying to say is you're working in collaboration, and it's been a plan which has been long-term, which has been before the incarceration of the leader, Dr. Lucas Cho Ayaba. Talking about Dr. Lucas Cho Ayaba, the leader of the Ambazonia War of Independence, he's still being held in a Norwegian prison. No charges have been placed on him, and many people have been called to testify against him. That is Cameroon and Norway, in collaboration with France, are trying to look for charges to put on the leader. My question is, why do you think France, in complicity with Norway, are keeping him? Why is France and Norway working together to keep the leader of the War of Independence?
Thank you for that question. For the clarity for our people at home and abroad. We must understand that there is a saying that when you cut off the head, you've cut off the body, and so Cameroon is practicing an old age war tactic called decapitation. So he's trying to cut off the leadership, and that's the strategy that I've been using both on our leaders and our military officials. They go after our officials, our military officials, our military generals, our commanders, our free marshals, name them. And they are going after our leaders. They started with Siseko Ayoktabe. They took him in, they gave him life sentence. They thought that they could kill the revolution. But the revolution has grown stronger and stronger. And the taking in of Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, it's an old tactic which cannot work. It will not work. It cannot work because the Ambazonian quest for liberation, for freedom, the Ambazonian War of Independence, it's an ideology. It's an ideology. It's not a personal thing. It's not a person thing. It's not Ayaba's thing. It's an ideology that has been birthed. And I will let Ambazonians understand that this ideology was birthed since 1961, when they gave us the only two options, either to join Cameroon or to join Nigeria. there was a faction that left Ambazonia and went to see the Queen. They went to the Queen to complain that they need the third option. They needed a third option because in the United Nations General Assembly, it was stated in its resolutions that prepare your overseas territories and give them independence. And so Britain came and messed up the whole thing because they were in bed with France, took us and gave us as a gift to France, and France gave us as a gift to Cameroun because they were masters to Cameroun, which they still are, and we are in here today. And so the taking in of Ayaba Cho Lucas only strengthens our resolve and tells the Ambazonian people that Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba was a stumbling block, was standing on the way. And so they thought that when they take him away, it will give them a leadway to destroy our resolve, to break our resolve. But on the contrary, our resolve has strengthened. And but the taking of Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba has given the nationalists more people have joined the struggle, meaning that the taking of Ayaba Cho Lucas has proven to some Ambazonians who were lukewarm to our plight that what we are doing has an impact. They have just told the other Ambazonian people who are not nationalists, who are still on the fence, that what we are doing hurts them. And so they thought that taking him, and we have grown stronger. We have grown stronger. Dr. Julius Nee has taken the leadership, has taken the mantle, and is doing just well. He's doing well, and we are moving. The international gains that we made of recent, the revolution cannot die. And so they're just trying to decapitate our leaders, decapitate our military personnel, our military leaders, with the hope that they will kill the revolution. The revolution, we are a never again generation. We cannot give up. We will not blink. We will go till the last man standing. We will raise the flag in Boya, sing our anthem, and shout hallelujah at the end.
So based on what you say, you've already answered the next question I wanted to ask, which was like keeping Dr. Lucas Cho Ayaba incarcerated going to negatively affect the revolution, but you already gave an answer. My next question comes in connection with this. Cameroon calls for dialogue with the AGovC. What do you have to say about Cameroon's call for a dialogue with the AGovC? Do you think the AGovC should take it seriously? We know about the Swiss process. Cameroon played a dirty game. The Canadian process, Cameroon cried foul and said they never said no one to negotiate, even though the Canadians said the negotiation process in Canada was called for by Cameroon. Now they've called for another dialogue with the AGovC, the Ambazonia Governing Council. What do you think about this call for negotiations?
You see, Cameroon, thank you so much for that question. I really appreciate your question. And I appreciate our viewers, our televiewers, and all of your followers. You see, Cameroon is a rogue nation. It's a rogue nation, and the French system is based on lies. You know, they're not truthful to themselves. They're manipulators. They're international professional manipulators. Fact, they have manipulated Africa, 14 African countries. They've put them under subjugation for all these years, for over half a century. And it's just of recent that some countries are breaking loose out of that French France-Afrique pact. And so Cameroon is a rogue state, and they thrive on treachery and lies. So this is not different. Like you rightly said, the Swiss wanted us to talk with Cameroon, but they played games over it. We gave them conditions that they could not meet, and they shied away, and the process died. They came to Canada. Canada opted to mediate for a negotiated settlement. They took the engagement, and when Canada took the responsibility to own the process and take it forward by coming out through their official, the Cameroon came and destroyed it. And so what makes us to understand, what makes us to think that this time around they are serious? And so they have given us that letter through Norway to say they want to talk. But talking with who? How? We are sick and tired of dark dealings. You know, we will not do things in the dark anymore. Like I just tweeted a while ago, you know, we are people like any other people in the world. We are people like the Russia, Ukraine. We are people like the Israelis and Palestinians. You know, all of their negotiations, all of their peace treaties are in the open, and when is now, you know, negotiating for peace to return between Ukraine and Palestine, it's in the open. And so, like the spokesperson said, we are no more going to do things in the dark. And so the Ambazonian Governing Council has advised them, you know, Cameroon, if they want to end, you know, the atrocities, the genocide that is going on in Cameroon, they need to do things in the open. We have our partners in. We have the lobby firm, the MGS. We have that our partners. Let them engage them. We have we have Canada, which was in that process. Let them engage them. We have Switzerland, which was in that process. Let them engage them and tell them, look here. I know we had failed in this ventures. I think it's time. It's time for us to make peace. And so it's a game that they are playing. They think that by doing this, you know, they would buy some time and sway. They'll buy some time and sway the rot that is coming from the American government, because the Trump is going to deal with them.
Good, that's my question. Question. Chairman, before you go there, let me ask you this last question. Donald Trump won the elections, which Cameroonians were taken aback. They were surprised. They were not thinking that Donald Trump will win again. He won. Now I see the French President Macron in Washington, D.C., in the White House with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is someone who is against the system. He's against the globalists, and he's against the deep state. Do you think Donald Trump can be the chance for Ambazonia to actualize its independence and restoration? But my question was, Donald Trump won the elections in the United States of America. Cameroon was taken aback because everybody thought Kamala Harris will win. Donald Trump is against the globalist. He is against the deep state. Donald Trump is the kind of man who don't follow the rules. France has discovered this, and I see Macron in Washington, D.C., in the White House. And I know France will bring this up to Donald Trump because they know that he can influence the actualization of the independence of Biafra, Ambazonia, and Somaliland. My question is, do you think France can influence Donald Trump's position on Ambazonia's quest for independence?
I just want to thank God. I want to thank God for the leadership of the AGovC. I want to give them kudos. I want to say thank you to the diplomatic team that is doing the heavy lifting. And I think that we stand on a very solid ground. Like we said, we had seen this coming. We are foresighted. We see far. We had seen far, very far before these elections could come. And so we were working in the background. We were doing the heavy lifting in the background. And so thanks to the MGS that we have right now, Macron's visit to the White House will not change the process that is on. We are quite prepared. And there's a groundwork. There's a powerful groundwork that is grounded. And so we are confident, the whole of France can get to the White House. They will not change what is in place. What is in place, what is coming for Cameroon is big. It will turn things around. And so they are rushing to say they want to talk, is to dampen the spirits and to attenuate. But like I said, the train has already left the station. It's on its way. And the right hand of justice will fall on La République du Cameroon. They will have to justify for the atrocities that have caused the Ambazonian people, for the genocide that they're on our people. If they don't, America has the power to recognize us and give us our independence without a negotiated settlement. And so they better come to the table quick, and let's talk and negotiate and stay as neighbors, or we will move Cameroon as our neighbor and put some other country to be our neighbors, if that is possible.
Thank you very much for this interview and the time to answer our questions at the Nationalist. Chairman of the Ambazonia Education Board, Rev.John Tinshu. Thanks a lot for your time.
I want to thank you for the time you've taken to give us the possibility as a department to have our own view on the current issues plaguing our revolution, plaguing our war of independence. I want to equally thank those who were watching on Facebook. I want to thank those who will be watching the rebroadcast on other platforms. I want to say, let us continue to support our valiant, patriotic volunteers who have given up their lives. Many have paid the ultimate price. Many have gone. We've lost 70,000. 70,000 of Ambazonians have given up their lives to see to it that we have independence. Many are displaced internally. Over 1 million are displaced internally. We have over 1,500,000 who are displaced, who are refugees out in the diaspora, in the other countries, scattered across the world. We want to thank them. Those that are still living in the bushes, people are still living in the bushes. We want to thank the mothers. We want to thank our fathers. We want to thank everyone, the nationalists, who are actually fighting for the liberation of Ambazonia. We want to say thank you, and we say continue to support. Pay your liberation tax. Pay your liberation tax. Go to www.atla.africa and pay your liberation tax, or get in touch with any of the commanders on the ground and pay your tax. Pay your tax, support the revolution, so we can be, like you said of the Pinin massacre. When they got into Pinin, I want to tell you that the Pinin community, they are 70% of the Pinin community out in the diaspora and back at home. They don't support the revolution. And so When they came into their neighborhood, they killed them indiscriminately. They didn't discriminate to say that these are Amba people, these are this. So when the killers come, they don't discriminate. So I'm calling on all Ambazonians in all neighborhoods, in all blocks, villages, everywhere. Put your money where your mouth is. Put your money where your freedom is. Do not listen to the lies, to the manipulation that they will come to give you. They will give you these things when they need you, and when they've used you, they will dump you. They will kill you and add to you. The 6 boys that were murdered in cold blood for doing nothing. They were not fighters. They came into the neighborhood and just killed them indiscriminately. And so let's support all villages, all neighborhoods, support the revolution. Let's finish this fight. We are almost there. We need to have the ground hot so that we complete what we have started. I thank you so much for this wonderful time. God bless Ambazonia.